Friends, hello. Man, I'm excited. I'm so excited about what is going on with Sofi right now. This is just, God, it's good to see Sofi finally running, having freedom, just good news, good numbers, and it just continues. It just continues. Sofi loves what is coming right now. It loves that, we're going to have a Trump administration, a Republican administration, because, and I say that not as a political statement, but I say that because this is what Sofi has been saying this year too. When they've come out, they didn't say Trump, but they said Republican, where things are going here. And Sofi is loving that. Sofi is loving the $2 billion deal, the credit card deal it got a while back. These amazing quarterlies that it has, and where we could see the progression go into the market going into 2025, with obviously a bull run coming here in January of 2025. Here, just days, weeks away. So, if you're not excited, you should be excited because Sofi is going to continue to run here. And this is how we're more than likely going to get to $20. We are obviously going very high here with Sofi because Sofi is showing signs of sell-off here, but it's also showing really big signs of its building staircases. We're watching Sofi trying to get to 15 right now. I think we can go ahead and call 15. We're gonna get 15 here very soon, maybe this week, who knows. But more than likely, by January, if Sofi can make it to a $16 to $17 here by maybe, let's just push it here, let's really get crazy, maybe December, we can see Sofi by the inauguration of January 20th here next year. We can see Sofi maybe at a $19 to $20 range. That's very possible. I don't think that's impossible at all. Not to mention, we'll be dealing with the last Q4 quarterlies here around that time here with Sofi to wrap up the year, and they should be probably just as good, if not better, with the quarterlies they just released, which were the biggest quarterlies that they've ever released. So, this is leading a lot of us to suspect that Sofi is going to $20 here very soon. And obviously, $20 is not that big of a deal with a lot of expectation with what people have been saying. Like, that's kind of lowballing with what people are saying. It's a little sooner than I think a lot of us may think, and it is. We're talking like 40, 50 days from now. That kind of taking place. I don't think that's impossible, especially when you've looked at the chart with how Sofi's ran here. And don't forget too, Sofi could easily come out with some news here where they say, "Hey, by the way, we picked up another deal. Hey, we're going into this." These are always there. Those situations are always there for Sofi just to go like, "Oh, by the way, we have this about to take place here." So that's a very realistic situation that can happen there. So, Sofi broke its all-time high today with this new, movement. And, I'm not looking at Sofi like when it first came to market here back in 2021. I'm not looking, that was a different Sofi. That was a different company. Sofi now is completely different. Structure-wise, company-wise, everything. It's just completely different. So, really Sofi, with it as a new company, with the deals, where it's at, where it's going, this is essentially the all-time high here with what it's producing with quarterlies, with their future, with people that have accounts with Sofi. By the way, I'm not I'm drinking the juice here, obviously with Sofi, but I do want to encourage you and say this too: if you don't have an account with Sofi, it doesn't even matter if you don't need a bank account. You should make it a bank account with Sofi. It will, as an investor, it will blow your mind how awesome their account is. Not to mention, it's a bank, but also too, you can buy stocks on your account. They have all these things you can do. Credit card. I mean, you will understand more about Sofi if you actually use it. I mean, it costs you nothing, but I encourage you, if you're not a customer of Sofi, you should definitely check it out. It takes no time. It costs nothing just to open an account. So definitely consider that. Like I said, you can buy stocks on there. It's super easy. It's mind-blowing. You're like, why are more banks not doing this? They need to catch up. But having that conversation, this is why you're seeing Sofi grow so fast right now. Sofi is really speaking to the newer generation of, kids right now. The generation that just graduated a few years ago, last year, this year, the year after this, they're gonna need cars, they're gonna need houses, they're gonna need loans, and SoFi is really capturing the newer generation. And as time continues, this is what is gonna keep pushing up SoFi's quarterly, SoFi's subscribership, and this is why for the next years to come, more than likely we're going to see SoFi do really well with earnings. It's not going to really be bad here anytime soon. SoFi is in a very, very heated state right now of growth. I mean, it is growing really fast here. So the situation right now with SoFi, you should be encouraged by it, okay? I'm not trying to make a sales pitch, but I'm just trying to say, like, hey, I'm encouraged about what's going on over here with SoFi, okay? This is obviously a situation where, SoFi is sitting at $14.42 where it closed today. Okay, well, tomorrow, maybe we'll sell back down to a high 13. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll stay and, maybe we'll sell off to a 14.05. It doesn't mean that's bad. It means that's good. This is what you want to see with stocks when you're looking at them. I like slow growth. I get very scared with fast growth. And that's been the thing about Palantir for a lot of people. They've been like, listen, this thing's grown so fast. I kind of think it's going to fall apart here very soon. And normally, with Palantir, that would be the argument with any stock when it grows so fast. The problem with that argument in Palantir is that as Palantir is growing here, it's getting major deals. It's getting put on the S&P 500. It's getting put on the NASDAQ. It's just growing at a unreal rate right now, and that's why people can't get enough of it right now. So, not that SoFi is anywhere, bringing in, Palantir money. SoFi is nowhere around there. But SoFi is growing at a very fast rate, and that should be the one thing that really encourages you as an investor. This is a growth stock, okay? SoFi is a growth stock. SoFi is not a stock that you just sit in at the moment and expect to get dividends and just fat and happy off of it. You put a $5,000-$10,000 in, and you're like, I'm gonna just let it sit there and it'll slowly grow and I'll get dividends. This is not an ETF or a normal bank stock here. This, you're not buying Wells Fargo here. You're buying a very young company, very young bank stock that still has a whole future of maybe potentially a stock split a few years. Maybe it gets so expensive they do a stock split. We're still not even talking about dividends with SoFi. Imagine, let's just really push it down the road here. Imagine, 4 to 5 years from now, SoFi, it's sitting at a maybe, let's just say $50, $70 stock. Okay. And I'm lowballing here. But, SoFi says, you know what? We want to start doing a dividend. It's not a very big dividend. Maybe they could start doing like a 5-cent dividend, maybe 10 cents per share. Who knows? It's a very realistic, that's what most bank stocks do. That's why people, buy bank stocks a lot of the time. There's not a lot of movement in them, but they give dividends, and most of them give pretty nice dividends. So SoFi eventually in the future will be in that category. But SoFi not only is a bank stock, but it has a lot of technology and just innovation behind it too. And that's why I was telling you, you really should make an account with SoFi. It will really change your perspective of who and what this company is, and will encourage you probably to really enhance your investment. You'll be like, oh, this is amazing. And look at the possibilities down the road. It's so important not to, look at SoFi like, well, if I buy it right now at $14, maybe I can sell it at $16 and then, I'll make some profit. Really think about how SoFi is moving at a very fast rate here, now that the ball is rolling, and, where it could possibly go here in the near future. So it's very important to not get left behind here with SoFi, okay? Obviously, I don't think we're in a range right now where you should look at SoFi and be like, it's just too expensive to buy. I would more look at this as a time situation where, okay, it's, if SoFi was at $50 right now, I'd be like, okay, whoa, I don't know that I'd buy much more at this moment. It's kind of hit its valuation at this point, a little over. This is a situation where, you're buying SoFi, you're trying to accumulate as much as you can right now going into the future, and I say it like that because, that's one thing that I don't think a lot of YouTubers really say well in their videos, because I know a lot of people, when they're buying stocks, when they're buying shares, they don't have $100, they don't have $5,000, they don't have maybe $50, they have $8, they have $15, they have $20, and they're like, where should I put this? Okay, I can buy one share, I can buy half a share of SoFi. So if that's you, don't be embarrassed about that. Look at that as like you're doing something for your future, okay? But if you keep doing that, if you can keep that, that momentum going, that could be a huge thing for you in the future. That's, man, 10 years ago, that was me. Instead of buying junk food or stuff while I was out working, I would put money and I would buy a share of something. I'd buy, like, I just put $5 in Tesla. I just put $10 in, some stock back then. But those things kept advancing. And, by the end of the year, like, whoa, I put like $300-400 in the stock, and it grew. It was a really fast growing stock. So that's how you get these things going. You get momentum going. Most people are not doing that. I meet so many people, they find out what I do and all that, and they go like, well, what do you need to invest in the stock market? Do I need like $5,000-10,000? I'm like, no, dude, you need like $5. Like, just start somewhere. And so many people, when you say that to them, they go, well, that's not going to make me rich. Then what is that going to do? Listen, unless you're day trading, but this is not a situation get rich quick scheme plan. Okay, this should be, I want to change my future. I want to get in the game. I want to be a part of this. Okay, take $5 and buy some SoFi, and then next week do it again. Maybe you can put $5 in Monday. Maybe you can put $10 in that Friday. Okay, great. Now we got $15. We got one whole share. Friends, imagine if you started buying Nvidia a few years ago. Imagine if you started buying Palantir a few years ago when it was at $5, and you did that every week for a year. Okay? We're talking about big money. Those stocks are still out there. They're not going to stop. There's still growth stocks out there that are going to have those narratives that are going to move very fast. SoFi is going to be one of those stocks where it's going to get very expensive very fast. Okay? So I say that to just encourage somebody, okay? So like if you can afford one share, maybe you can, afford like, $100 worth of shares. Or you put $100 in, or you have $1,000 to put in. Great. But this is a very much a growth situation right now with SoFi. And it's showing that it's going to get expensive very fast. So I think we're definitely on a good road here to $20, and that's very encouraging. And once we get to 20, we'll be in a different pay scale here with SoFi, where earnings are maybe beating. If we can get into a place here where every new earning comes out, it's beating the last one. That is a very telltale sign that SoFi is growing at a very fast rate, and it is going to get very expensive here. And who knows what it could be sitting at this time next year. Friends, I want to thank you, encourage you, be excited, man. Be excited. This is the opportunity. This is the moment. This is it. This is opportunity of a lifetime right here, with a lot of stocks right now. Big movement coming. Friends, take care. Bye-bye.